Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, March 20th, 2023, and I need to issue an urgent advisory if you are planning to be in Manhattan tomorrow. If you are not aware of what could be going on in Manhattan tomorrow, the urgency is that former President Donald Trump is expected to be arrested for charges connected to giving hush money to porn actress Stormy Daniels. That is considered illegal. In some books, you could, be in a kangaroo court all you want. I'm just issuing an advisory of the areas that you need to avoid in Manhattan tomorrow, Tuesday, March 21st. Now, thankfully, this won't apply to me because I don't need to be in Manhattan for a week, which I'm not going to disclose until I post a fun video coming up next Monday, March 27th. But this is an advisory for anybody being in Manhattan tomorrow, Tuesday, March 21st, because the news will come out, likely when you first wake up, that the former president is being extradited to New York to face the charges. So what I'm going to do right now is list the 3 likely areas of where the Trump protests will likely be taking place tomorrow, March 21st. And we're going to go to the obvious spot, number 1, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, Alvin Bragg. I'm going to now tell you the streets in Lower Manhattan that you need to avoid tomorrow. Anywhere from Worth, Hogan, Baxter Streets. Anywhere in that corridor, you want to avoid that area tomorrow. You also want to avoid Center Street. Those are the corridors of where Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office is. So that will be the main gathering spot of where the Trump protesters will be tomorrow. Now, let's go to the second obvious protest spot, and that is Trump Tower, located on West 57th Street between 5th and Madison. You want to avoid that area especially because the protesters will be gathering around that corridor. They will also be along 5th Avenue between West 57th and West 56th Streets. You want to avoid those 2 intersections tomorrow if you do not have to be in that area. Let's say if you want to go to Whole Foods. My recommendation would be, if you need to access the Whole Foods on Lexington Avenue between 3rd and 57th, my recommendation would be just to go on 58th Street. That would be one way to avoid them. Another thing you can do is walk on West 55th, or best case scenario, anywhere from West 54th or West 53rd Street. I know it's going to be a long detour if you need to go shopping tomorrow, but that's the recommendation that I can recommend. I also want to mention something else, that if you also need to access the Whole Foods on West 57th Street, another recommendation I would say to do is just take the E or M train. The E or M train will help you avoid the protesters. So just use the subway if possible. And a third likely spot where the protests are likely going to be taking place is the area of the Trump Hotel located at Columbus Circle. So this would be anywhere from 8th Avenue, West 59th Street, Central Park West, Central Park South. If you do not have to be in the area of Columbus Circle, avoid the area at all costs. Because that's going to be a likely spot where the protesters will be gathering tomorrow. So again, let's recap where the Trump protests will likely happen. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office located in Lower Manhattan, Trump Tower on West 57th between 5th and Madison Avenue, and Columbus Circle. Those are the 3 areas you need to avoid tomorrow if you are going to visit Manhattan or work in Manhattan. Now, there's one more thing I need to disclose. The protest can happen at any given time tomorrow, March 21st. So what I would recommend to do, if you don't have a Twitter account, create a Twitter account, get on Twitter, see where the protests are gathering. You can use the hashtag Trump if you need to. Maybe even go on Truth Social. Maybe see what people are saying on Truth Social or something. Best thing, if you want to avoid social media, download the Citizen app. They will have the latest information on when the protests are starting. But again, I gave you 3 spots where likely the Trump protests will be happening. You'll likely see people supporting Trump. You'll likely see people not supporting Trump. So please keep that in mind if you are visiting. And one thing I want to mention to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, thank you for not doing the arraignment for Trump to come up to New York next week, because we have the Macy's Flower Show coming up. And of course, in April, we got the New York International Oil Show taking place at the Javits Center. So you do not need Trump up here when we have 2 big events happening in Manhattan within a couple weeks span of each other. So that's all I have to say. Please take my advice with a grain of salt. Thank you for watching. And if you are going to be in Manhattan, please take my advice and stay safe out there. Thank you for watching.